Going. All right, now it says we're live, so let's
We're
do
live.
this. Shut up! I love you, but shut up.
Shut up.
This is how things start, and usually we have to wait at least, we have zero people. We have 0 people. We've made it to 0.
All right, that's a start.
But there's a rule that we have with this show. So what I do, Adam, we have a special guest today. You'll hear about that in a minute when we actually have viewers. We have one.
All
So
right.
the rule is I don't start the intro until we have 3, or if we hit 5 minutes with less than 1. Because otherwise, what's an intro if nobody 2?
Exactly.
See, we're growing. We've doubled.
We're creeping.
All right,
Instantly.
all right.
Yep. Wait, and everybody knows when we hit 3. When we hit 3, we
It's
start
intro
that.
time.
It's intro time. 4. There we go. All right, we've hit more than 3.
Right.
It's time for the intro. Ready? And here we go. I'm telling you, the production value never gets old.
Never.
It
The
just
fact-
doesn't.
And it's as iconic as The Simpsons that you change it every week.
Yeah, well, you gotta take from the best, right?
Oh, I spotted the froth. It popped in for just a second, and that was it.
Froth was there. Froth was a Wordle the day after we talked about frothy and being frotherized.
Unfrotherized.
Yeah, we are frotherized. So welcome again, ladies and gentlemen, to Cover to Covered. There's 5 of you here. So hi, all 5 of you. I hope you're good. And those of you that are watching after the fact, hi anyway. The only difference between now and then is that you can't ask questions live. We have 2 comments already. Oh, and Ducky already is already. Ducky's already
Both
in the
him.
chat. He barely has left the building and he's already in the chat. So that just tells you about Ducky's life. Ducky has no life and he just wants to chat on a podcast that takes place in a store he just left.
Literally left 3 minutes ago.
So, hey, Ducky, way to go.
Hey,
Big
Duck.
on- Bully. Shut up. Bully on you. So anyway, yes, welcome to episode 12 of Cover to Covered. My name is Mike Venezia. Down below is Mr. Nick Morocco, and we have a special guest. Ladies and gentlemen, we would like to introduce the one, the only, Shreddy Betty, Adam Phillips.
Yeah.
Adam Phillips, formerly of the band Propane, currently of the band Indorphine and lots of other things, Vola endorsee artist, and my cousin, to be honest. So
Yeah.
which of those is most important? You can decide. I'm going with the latter of all of them because, hey,
Yes.
blood is thicker than water and thicker than guitars, but not thicker than my skull.
Or thicker than his tone.
Blood-
Thick tone. Thick
Blood
tone.
is not thicker than tone.
How about though? I posted that picture, Mike, of Ducky and I with Adam in my quick
Yeah.
little Namm recap, and Mark Garney thought it was you. He was like, "Hey, Mike, where's Roger?"
I saw
Well,
that.
It's close. I mean, we're cousins, he's like my cousin's son. So, but we're only like 8 years apart. So, my family has everybody, my dad and my mom were the youngest in their family. So everybody was like vastly older than them. So all the cousins that are my age are not actually my direct cousins. They're always like the son or daughter of an actual first cousin. So
You pass as being related is the point.
Oh, for sure. For sure. I see the resemblance.
yeah.
Yes.
We both have eyes.
Yeah.
We both have beards.
And
And
no
we
hair.
both are follically challenged.
Yes.
So, and we both play guitar.
Yeah.
Though one of us plays way freaking better than the other.
Yes.
So there is that. So Adam, welcome to the show. Adam's joining us fresh
Thanks for
from
having
NAMM. So we're going to be talking a bit today about a few different things. We're going to be talking about our normal things. We're going to, talk about what we're listening to now. We're going to talk about a cover song that we like and disc cover. We're going to talk about This Song Sucks at the end. So make sure you stick around because that's when all the fireworks happen. But we're going to start off by talking about a NAMM recap. And we're also going to get into our main topic, which is the best bands you've never heard. Now, mind you that these are bands that you may very well have heard, but that might be you. Generally speaking, these are bands that, I'm going to kill Roger. He's knocking records over now. Oh my God. Get your goddamn toy out of here. All right.
He's like, I hate records.
He's like, I hate that band. This song sucks. And he's like knocking all my crap over. But anyway, so these are bands that you may know, but most people don't. If you do know them, that's awesome. If not, maybe we're exposing you to something new. These are not a top 10. Like I always say, it's not a top 10 list or anything like that because top 10 lists are wrong. Because they are completely subjective. So these picks are subjective as well. And you may think that band is huge, but it might be big in like Joliet, Illinois, and that's where you are and nowhere else. So, please understand that these are subjective picks. Some you may have heard of, some you may not have. In fact, there's some that these guys picked that I have no idea who they are. And I'm actually happy for that because this show is as much about exposing all of us to new music as it is about all of you new music. So we hope you enjoyed that portion of it. Nick, how are you?
I'm all right. I'm still tired.
From NAMM, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm still worn out.
Same here, man.
Not that I got crazy or nothing because I didn't, but it was a way quicker trip than it normally is. I mean, Mike, you can attest to this. Usually we're there Wednesday, sometimes even Tuesday. The show normally starts on Thursday, but we came in Thursday afternoon and we were out of there early Sunday morning. So it's a lot for your body to adjust to, at least for us, because we got it's a 3-hour difference for us. So when I went to bed on Thursday night, I had been up for like 25 hours or something, 26 hours.
Somebody panics about planes and, let's review what Nick had to do to be calm on the plane. I gave him this suggestion and I hope that it was something that worked. You can tell me, Nick. Oh, wait, no, we didn't. I can't get into that. It's very blue and very X-rated, but you did get upgraded to first class. So you said you had a very comfortable flight. So,
I did. And there was no rough air on the way there. And then even coming back, there was only rough air for like 5 or 6 minutes. It was by far the smoothest plane ride I've ever been on. So I was very grateful for that. Cause yes, I have a terrible fear of flying that most folks do not understand and think by just stating facts that I already know that it's going to help, but it doesn't help.
Yeah, I'm like, dude, like 25,000 planes have ever gone down out of like 2 billion flights. Like the chances of you, not only that, but the chances of you actually dying in a plane crash is like, it's not a lot. I don't remember the number, but it's something ridiculous. But anyway, so glad to hear you're doing well. What's the name of your store?
Rock City Music Company.
Where is it?
Located in Livonia, Michigan. Just outside of Detroit. Find us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, any of those other platforms you like to use, or visit our website, rockcitymusicco.com.
Awesome sauce.
Awesome.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. It's a great show. Thank you so much.
Can you tell me, Mike, because that is a phrase that I can't stand. Can you tell me exactly what awesome sauce is?
It's sauce that happens to be better than good. In
so
fact,
it's
better
like,
than
so
great.
It's mustard?
It is awesome sauce. Therefore, the 2 words.
That's on the list of ones I'm not a fan of either.
All right. Well, you know what? You could both go scratch. So this is my show and somewhat Nick's show. Like, I don't care. I pull rank on this one. Awesome sauce is a thing.
I've been here 5 minutes. I'm like, you know what I don't like?
Yeah, right.
Get off the lawn.
That's great.
See, this is what happens here. So awesome sauce. Anyway, so Adam Phillips.
Yes, sir.
Welcome to the show, my man.
Thanks for having me.
Not like it's been a while since we've seen each other. It's
been 3 days, I think.
Yeah, like 72 hours.
Yeah.
Something like that. But always good to see you. It's been 3 years since the last time I saw you, or 2.5 years. The last time I saw you was NAMM 2020, right?
Yeah.
So
that was it. And then we were stuck apart for almost 3 years.
But you can't keep us apart, man.
No,
so NAMM brought us all back together.
It did.
So Adam, before we get into the NAMM thing, let's let everybody know who you are. You play guitar.
I do. I play guitar for the band Indorphine. It's sort of an oddball metal band. I would say a cross between Mr. Bungle, Pantera, and I don't know, Primus, System of a Down.
Ooh,
that's fair.
We're all over the place.
That's fair.
Yeah, it's all over the map.
You got some Zappa flavoring going on in there
a little
too,
bit. We're
sure.
all fans of Zappa and Bungle and anything odd. We that's kind of how we do things here. Like we don't. Oh, we just lost Mike.
Where'd he go?
I don't know.
We're hosting the show by ourselves, Adam.
All right. Well, let's just continue on with that then. We'll catch up. So yeah, it's a bit of an oddball band. We were around active from like 2001 until there he is.
I don't know what the hell just happened, but I'm glad you guys are still here. So, okay. For those of you that look, we lost 3 people in the time that I had disappeared. I'm sorry. Continue.
No, that's okay. No, I was just giving a little background on Indorphine. We were active from 2001 to 2007 and then had some lineup changes, including my departure. And then I went off to play guitar in Propane, which I did for, I think, 9 years.
Would I be correct in saying Long Island's own Propane?
Yeah. Yeah, originally those guys are from Baldwin.
Yep.
They're a Baldwin band. They came out of the ashes of the Crumbsuckers, if anybody knows who that is.
Oh, yeah.
Yep, absolutely. Old school NYHC.
Yeah, and I actually got to do one gig with the Crumbsuckers. It was a reunion show.
Nice.
Their guitar player, Dave Wynn, couldn't do the gig. I guess he apparently doesn't have the chops anymore, which is kind of strange, but...
That's a rough one.
So I offered to do it. It was really fun. Played Black and Blue Bowl. I got to play. It was the old Ritz, which
nice.
I can't remember the Webster Hall. That's what it became.
Yep.
Did that, and then we got some show offers and some touring offers and some offers to play overseas, and had some festival offers for like Hellfest and things like that. I thought it was going to become a thing, and it just kind of didn't. We had some issues with certain members of the band that weren't mentally stable enough to do what we wanted to do, but
by the
that's
way,
okay.
I need to interrupt for 1 second.
Sure.
To help clarify for both of you gentlemen, somebody that is on my wavelength, awesome sauce is indeed.
I know Jerry
that's the definition.
It is sauce that is awesome. So I had it right. I'm just saying. Therefore.
I want to just say about Adam playing in Propane. So I told him this the other day when Mike brought it up on Thursday night when we were at dinner. He's like, yeah, my cousin, he's in Vola and Dorsey, and he goes, he used to be in Propane. And I was like, no way, really? Like the Propane? And he's like, yeah. And then I proceeded to tell Mike what I told you, that we always joke that my dog Rocco, his favorite band is Propane because he's like because he's a pit bull, and he's thrashing himself around. Yeah, right. That's what Adam said. So Mike, when I met Adam in the Vola booth the other day, so I totally goldfished him. I go, hey, are you Mike's cousin? And he's like, yeah. I go, hey, how you doing? I'm Nick. And I go, so you were in Propane? And he goes, yeah. And I go, did you play on Death Wish? And he's like, yeah, I did. And I go, sweet.
Then he introduced himself. I'm like, oh, you're Nick. Okay.
We got past that nonsense and the awkward. Yeah. Okay, great.
Well, Death Wish is that's a killer tune, dude. That's a hell of a track.
It was a fun song to play. We opened with it.
Speaking of Vola guitars, I think somebody may know this person.
Yes, we do know that person.
Mr. Greg.
He asked the question, ever heard the tale of the lonely dead clown?
I have, and so have you, Adam. I know you've heard that tale.
We'll keep the inside jokes inside. How about that one? So, hello to Greg from Vola Guitars.
I think I laughed more this past weekend than I have in 2 years. And I laugh a lot. I love
that's all coming up. Yeah, that's all going to come up in that Namm recap for sure. Especially all the new band names that we've created and bandied about. Oh yeah, it's going to be a good one. So, but then Adam, you were in Propane for forever. Yeah. So what are you doing now? What are you working on now?
So Indorphine is back together. We have a brand new EP recorded. We've already written another 5 songs for another EP. I'm playing in a really awesome blues band. And I can say that because I just joined the band. It's not my band that I started. And but yeah, all the musicians in that band are just like up here, man. It's blues and funk and like rock and blues. It's not your like beep 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 beep. It's I don't really dig into that. Like it's rock and blues stuff. And that's called The Company. I am in an old school Metallica tribute band. Only play the first 5 records and very selective about the 5th record.
I was gonna say
very selective about the 5th record, but that band is called Whiplash. And then I'm also in a hardcore band called Trauma Bonds with Jeff Golden, who is ex Crowbar and Goat Whore.
Well, around here, we only do covers of Load, Reload, and Saint Anger. Those are the 3 albums that we consider classic Metallica. I mean, come on.
You know that not to be true.
Not at all.
Yeah.
We are also filled with sarcasm here because those albums suck.
Terrible.
They are
just
again, as we say every week, Metallica, Lars, if you're watching, you know, Kirk, please come on the show and explain yourselves. So anyway, you know, we're big fans of the first 4.5 albums. It's
first 2.5 for me.
Because you don't like Orion.
What's wrong with you?
He's a moron.
It goes nowhere.
That's one of the greatest Metallica songs ever written.
No, let's not even go there. It's not time for that.
You know what? We're going to change the last segment of this show from This Song Sucks to This Host Sucks.
And it's just about you. It's exclusively about you, Mike.
No, it's framed. You know what's going to happen? Here's what's going to happen. It's going to wind up being one person, and let's see if I can make that happen. No, I can't. I can't do it right now.
You couldn't blow me up. See, you tried to.
I could. I could just boot you.
Wait, can you make the little graphic go with like the guy with the broom, like from Carol Burnett show, like sweeping the?
I got like Sandman kind of like coming out on like the stage at like Showtime at the Apollo. Like
that was it.
There you go. Oh wait, look at this. Look at it right here. It says remove from stream. Oh, okay.
Oh, just in case I get out of control.
Actually, we have some really cool features on this that people in the chat don't know about. We can put you in a timeout. Like there's literally like a timeout. Like there's a timeout function. If you're being like a douche, timeout. So
that's amazing.
Yeah. It's fantastic. Anyway, all right, enough about that. So Adam, welcome to the show. Nick, welcome back from Namm. I am welcoming myself back the 90 minutes away from Namm. So here we are. We are back. We are on, and let's go there. So we had what is called the Namm Show this past weekend in Anaheim. It's usually a 4-day show, and it's usually in January. And for those of you that don't know, NAMM stands for National Association of Music Merchants. And essentially, it's a big mucky muck show that all of us vendors, I work for a vendor, we all go and we set up booths, and some have just what they call pipe and drape, where literally there's pipes holding drapes, and that is their booth. Or some go a little bit more elaborate like we do, where we have rooms in a separate part of the convention center, and we all show our wares, you know, whether they be new or existing models or what have you. And it's not open to the public, though you'd be surprised, because like I'd say the show is like 80% the public somehow, and 20% dealers. So, but anyway, that normally happens in January. Obviously, because of the whole dreaded Rona, things got pushed back for a while. There wasn't one last year in January. They were going to do it in January, pushed it out to June because they were afraid of everybody getting the Rona.
Good call on their part.
Yeah, well, people still got the Rona. I got reports already. So
there you go.
Yeah. I've been testing negative every day, so I'm good. But yeah. So anyway, it happened. It's 3 days this time around. So it was just Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So like Nick was saying, we all went up a little bit later than usual, spent less time than usual, but I think we had just as many laughs.
Yes.
So
yes.
So, Nick, from your perspective, all three of us worked the show in one way or another. I worked for my vendor. Adam was a product specialist, and Nick is a dealer, walked around the show. So, Nick, what did you see? Did you see anything that'd be cool for musicians out there that they should want to check out? Like, what were some cool things that you saw?
There was a lot of great product that I saw from marquee vendors. You know, there's some great new stuff coming from Ibanez. New Steve Vai that's coming out in powder blue that looks really cool. There's a new Nita Strauss model, Jiva, that was a great playing guitar. We've had Nita at the store, and she's awesome. She's a great player, and the guitar's and beautiful.
Just wanted to say that.
The guitars they make for her signature models are fantastic. There's also a new Joe Satriani anniversary model that's all gold. Like, and what I'm saying, it's gold. It's gold. It's gold.
It's very gold.
It's very gold. It's gold everything. Gold fret markers, solid gold body, gold pickup covers, gold everything. It's very gold. It's very gaudy, but it's very cool. So I love that stuff. Got to talk about the Vola stuff that I saw with Adam. Great stuff going on there. Those guys are really doing something special. Happy to be on board with them. Crazy cool craftsmanship.
They're awesome guitars. I mean, a little background about Vola for anybody who doesn't know. The company's been around since 2015. The factory is in Japan, so all the guitars are Japanese made, but there is a USA custom shop in Temecula, which is in California. And these guys can do anything you want. As far as the production line models go, my favorite thing about them is the versatility, but I think like it's really cool. They found a way to make an everyman guitar and a boutique guitar at the same time and just kind of squash it together. So you've got that quality and diversity of a boutique guitar where you're like, holy crap, what is this? Where has this been? But it's affordable and it plays like an everyman guitar. Like you can just pick it up and rock.
Yes, and it sticks out no matter where it is. It's got this very unique look to them, and I don't mean that in a bad way, because you could say that about a lot of guitars that you see at NAMM. You go, well, it's unique, and you don't necessarily mean it in the best way. For Vola, I do mean it. It's great stuff, and like you're saying, the components, you get a lot of bang for your buck there. The craftsmanship's outstanding on the Japan stuff, and especially on the USA stuff. I got to play a couple USA models there, and they are fantastic. So those guys are really, Greg and Scott, those guys are doing some fantastic stuff over there. So that was cool. And then the last thing I want to touch on, because of course I'm a drummer, talk slow. I'm a drummer. The 50th anniversary Ludwig kits of the Vistalite drums.
Nice.
Yeah, they did a solid red that looked amazing. I had to stare at it for a while, because I had to convince myself I don't need another drum kit because I have 12 of them. So I don't need another one, but those drums look fantastic. They're built just like the old school ones. They sound great. I know that because some guy that had no business playing went up and he hit the kick drum with his knuckle, and that, gave him the determination that it sounded good.
Because that's how you know.
Yeah.
That's how you know. You just,
and I'm sure we're going to get into this, but some of the shit that these people do, and you can tell the people who aren't in the industry, right? Like Mike, you just mentioned how all three of us are in the industry in a different way, right? You can instantly spot the people that have nothing to do with this industry other than that they play an instrument. And for example, the guy, when I was going up the escalator to go upstairs, Mike, to see your booth, and he was drumming with sticks on the escalator, as if somebody's gonna be coming down the escalator going, man, those are great rudiments you got there, let me give you an endorsement.
Well, escalator drumming is a lost art. It actually started back in the late 1500s, and it's been
when there was no escalators.
Yeah, exactly. They just called it drumming, and they didn't do it on escalators. Oh, wait a minute. It
blows my mind every time I'm there to see the people because that's why they're there. They're there because they think they're going to get free shit. So whether it's
sorry, go ahead, Nick. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, I was just going to say you usually the ones with a free hat or a bag or a lanyard, or they're dressed like they're going on stage with Poison in '86. And they want free guitars because they think that's how it works, even though that's not how it works.
Tons of them. I think I was one of like 30 people at NAMM without a Rev hat this year.
Yeah,
they were free. And I was like, you know what? I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. I'm not going to be.
Rev makes great amplifiers.
Amazing amps.
Awesome stuff.
They make amazing amplifiers. They make a lot of hats.
A lot of hats.
It was really like, if you didn't have a Rev hat,
you weren't at NAMM.
I guess I'm no one, because I did not wind up with a Rev hat.
I saw them going around and I was like, oh, they must be giving away. And then I saw that they were doing that. You can win an amp if you're spotted with the Rev hat on, and we pick you. I was like, I love Rev amps. They're cool, but like, I don't want to be that guy.
People at like the orange booth wearing Rev hats, like
Yeah,
that would
right.
be
asking for a free orange bag.
yeah. Just
And
you put the extra Rev hat in.
You know what was killer? Just on this point, when I was standing there talking to Adam for the first time at the Vola booth, we were in the middle of a conversation, and this lady came up and says to Adam, because he had a Vola tag on her, a shirt or whatever, and she was like, "Hey, excuse me," and Adam's like, "Yeah, how can I help you?" And she goes, "Do you have any more of those Vola bags that I see people walking around with?" So Greg gave her a bag. And then she just disappeared. It was like she saw somebody else had a free Vola bag, so she had to have one too.
Here's the clue, people that go to NAMM that aren't really musicians. The merch is not for you. let's just spell it out. It's for, if you want to learn about a product, you want to try a product, you're interested, you're a fan of the product, come say hi to any of us and we'll hook you up. But if it's just like, excuse me, can I just have a bag? Don't.
I heard that 700 times.
Yeah.
Over the course of 3 days.
Yeah.
I love that Adam said that about the Rev hats, because Ducky and I kept going, look, there's another Rev hat. At one point we saw an entire family that looked like they came over from Disneyland. They crossed the street and got into NAMM, and there was 4 kids and then the mom and dad, and all of them had Rev hats.
All right, what would have been better is if the Red Hats had like the Rev hats had Mickey ears.
Oh, they should make those next year. That would have been.
That's the idea for Vola for next year. Vola hats with ears.
All right, Greg. We're gonna have to pitch that to Sean.
I think he left already, but either way, yeah, that's the way to do it. That's the way to do it. Adam, you were being a product specialist. So you were working at a booth, handing out bags, obviously.
Yeah, I was a bag specialist.
Bag specialist. You should have put it on some people's heads around NAMM this time around. That's for sure. Man, the ugly people came out. But
we all have faces for radio, sir.
Yeah, exactly. Why am I in front of the camera? Because I bought this camera. That's the only reason why I'm in front of this camera. There's no. I'm definitely not one to talk in that regard. But so what did you find? We're there. You've worked at the Vola. You've been at the Vola booth before as a product specialist, doing demos and things of that nature. So how is this year different in that regard? Like, did you have people was there more name recognition? Were there more people saying how much they like the brand, or was it mainly people interested in carrying it?
No, I definitely noticed a lot more recognition. A lot of people said that they were seeing gear reviews of Vola online a lot, because I know there are a lot of gear review YouTube channels that have been blasting the product out there and giving it rave reviews. Like, all of the guitars that they've tried, they're like, this is awesome. Ola Englund did a review on a Vola guitar and he loved it. He absolutely loved it. He's like, this is a cool guitar, man. This is just awesome. I love it.
For those of you that don't know, Ola Englund is one of the darlings of YouTube. He does great demos and funny videos, and he's Swedish, right? He's Swedish.
Yeah, he's he's a very nice guy too.
Really
super,
nice
super
guy.
Sweet guy.
Very long hair. Great player.
Very long hair.
And one of the one of those really cool YouTubers that you want to watch. Unlike us, you definitely don't want to watch us. I do this because I beg and plead for people to watch, and we have 5 people watching.
My own girlfriend left the chat or left
like,
the video. She's like, I'm out of here.
Well, she sees you often.
Yeah, she doesn't want to hear about this.
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, continue on.
Now
that we gave background on Ola.
Oh yeah. So I did see a lot more people that were noticing the guitars. Hey, Vola guitars, I've been seeing those, man. I've been seeing the gear reviews and things like that. So we did get a lot more recognition on that. It was a little different this year because there weren't actually performances by Vola artists. I
don't
was
think there were
lucky
by most anyone.
No, there was this was a really weird year at NAMM. There was no Dime Bash. There were no after parties. If there were, they were very, very few. Yeah, there were. It was just a strange NAMM. No performances except a random Stevie Wonder performance, from what I heard. And
but Stevie Wonder plays every year.
He's every year.
Did he play really?
He did. And apparently Aldo, our little dude that works at the Vola, you met Aldo.
Yeah.
He comes up and he goes, man, Stevie Wonder's security almost kicked my ass, dude. And I was like, what did you do? What did you do? He goes, I went up when he was playing, and it was during a really quiet part, and I yelled, play Superstitious. And they said, you need to leave immediately now. Kicked him out of there. And he was like, play Superstitious. He's yelling. They threw him out.
That's hilarious because that's hilarious because Ducky and I were saying how like Aldo just seemed like a total sweetheart, like just like
he is, dude.
Completely innocent, like just like
he and I were roommates for the weekend, and he's a really quiet, sweet guy. He's one of those guys that like the first night he's like, do you want a water, man? I'm like, no, I'm okay. Here, take a water. He just opens a drawer and pulls like a water out of like 20 waters he's got in a drawer in the hotel room. He's like,
so he was a concierge as well as a roommate.
He looks like a little concierge, doesn't he?
He does.
Could put a little suit
All right,
on
enough about him. Let's get back to substance.
Yeah, it was an odd Namm. It was an odd Namm. I didn't perform, but I was lucky enough to do a Premiere Guitar demo, which was really cool. That's my
came out good.
First time in Premiere Guitar, and I'm like, please, more of that.
It came out good. One thing I'll say that was kind of surprising, because I don't think it's a secret that everybody knows it was extremely scaled back from what it normally is. Doesn't mean it was a bad thing, but it was pulled back. I thought it was still, considering its size, it was still very well attended. There's still a lot of interest, still a lot of opportunities for business there. I think we all made good connections with people, like you're saying, Adam. People were spotting the brand. They're interested in it. They've seen it over the last couple of years, which is great. That's why you do Namm, right? Yep. What blew my mind was I couldn't believe, even with it scaled back, I couldn't believe how loud it was on the main showroom floor.
The convention center is not built for acoustics.
No, it was so loud. I went in the drum. I took a video similar to yours, Adam, where I was in the drum area and I just panned the drums and all these people playing poorly and out of time with each other. And then I got to me and I was just like I'm losing my mind. Like
Adams was the hall.
Too much.
Adam's video was the best of his exclusive video at Namm.
Saying that, hi, I'm at Namm.
Yeah, that was it. It was just like exclusive video of Adam Phillips at Namm. Was like, I'm at Namm. And that was it. It was like 1 second long.
That's all you need. All right, enough about Namm. We need to move on because we've already eaten a half hour of time, which this is going fast. We like that, but we want to keep people entertained.
Well, we got to at least touch on some of the funny stuff from Namm.
We're gonna. That's what I'm getting to now. But then we're gonna have to get to what's coming out on Friday, because we do need to talk about that.
There's not much, but we'll get there.
Well, you want to do that first, then we'll get to the funny.
Sure, because there's only 2 releases I want to spotlight. Because as you know, next Saturday is RSD Drops 2.
Yep, number 2.
Number 2 for the year. And there's some great titles coming out. I'm sure next week, Mike, you and I are going to do a record store drop preview. It's
going to be about. Yep.
And 100%. I already know I'll have the product because it's already on the way, so I'll be able to show it.
Great.
But this week there's only two new releases I want to spotlight. One is another archival release. This is from the Rolling Stones. It's called Licked Live in NYC. And it was recorded in 2003 at Madison Square Garden on the 40 Licks tour at the time. So the Stones, again, like we've talked about in the last couple of episodes, like Neil Young, like Bob Dylan, like all these artists, they're reaching back into their archives and they're putting out quality products, soundboard tapes, and all kinds of great packaging of these previously unreleased concerts. So with the Stones, a couple different configurations. The indie store version of it is a 3 LP on white vinyl. Looks like it's going to be a triple gatefold. Stones releases are always high quality. Usually they come in a box, so I'm actually surprised that it's coming in a gatefold sleeve. But what's that?
Cost,
right? And there is a CD Blu-ray combo of it as well. So, but if the Blu-ray or DVD does not come with the records. So
it's just video. So again, it's not a remix. It's not a 5.1 or an Atmos mix. It's
correct. It's video. So, but unlike the Prince release that we talked about last week that gave you the video with the LPs, this is not that. You either get the LPs by themselves or you got to buy both the LPs and the Blu-ray. But I can tell you the Stones releases are always high quality. They're always good. And then the other thing I wanted to touch on, a release that might fly under some people's radar, Michael Monroe from Hanoi Rocks has a new solo album. And his last 3 records have been awesome. He's had a great band. He's got 2 of the guys from Hanoi Rocks in it with him, along with Steve Conti that was in the New York Dolls in the revamped lineup of the New York Dolls. But the last record had Ginger from the Wild Hearts on it. He's got some outside songwriters writing some kick-ass, straightforward rock and roll tunes. I can't recommend the last 2 records enough. So this one, I'm sure, is going to be on par with that because he's got the same band. So,
well, there you go. There's 2 releases coming out this Friday, highlighted by Nick. Again, next week, he is correct. Next week's episode is going to be Record Store Day preview. So we're going to go through a lot of records to preview. Now, mind you, it's less than half of what the last preview was, as far as not preview, but less than half of what is actually being released compared to last time. But that's because there was overflow or spillage, if you will, from things that didn't make it in time after being held up because of supply chain and things of that nature that we don't like to mention. They just weren't cut in time, weren't ready to go. So they made these 2 separate days. And then, of course, there's going to be the Black Friday one as well.
And let me tell you, Mike, some of these releases are already being kicked down to Black Friday.
Again.
Yes.
All right. We'll talk about that all next week. That's depressing.
Yes.
What about, is Voivod still in there? Is Nothing?
Voivod is still in there.
Okay, good. Because that's the one that I want. So, I need Nothing Face on vinyl.
Voivod is still coming.
So those are the 2 that he's highlighting for this week. We'll also have because there's not just Record Store Day releases, but there's regular releases too. I think that'll be coming out as well. So we'll talk about some of those. I do want to talk about a new band that I've heard about. And it's very important that we bring them up. They're called the Bob Dillinger Exchange, Bob Dillinger Escape Plan. Sorry. And also there was Adam, who is the Mars Volta tribute band with the terrible drummer?
Oh, that's going to be the Lars Volta.
Yeah, there we go. So
I missed that one.
Yeah, you missed that one. There's lots of band names that were floating around.
I discovered one today. Actually, Yngwie Springsteen.
He just shreds Born to Run.
Just over and over for an hour.
Yeah. You just get tired. Baby, we were born to run. Yeah, the funny was funny. So any of you that saw the opening, we ran into Randy Macho Man Savage at the bar. It wasn't. Obviously it wasn't him because he's slightly dead. But I got to see if I can pull this up somehow.
You're also not given enough backstory to that. How we I just looked over at one point and I was like, is that bartender wearing sunglasses behind the bar? And everyone turned and looked, and yes, he was. He had like a one of those cabbie hats on, and then sunglasses at like 10:30 at night. And just instantly I was like, this guy's definitely a great human being. You could just tell. So I of course get Mike's attention, and Mike's like, oh, that guy? Oh, you mean that guy? That's Macho Man. It's Macho Man, because he looked Randy a lot Savage. Like Macho Man.
It's definitely Randy Savage. Let's see if I can do this. Yeah, all right, whatever. Stop with this. I'll share the screen.
What is going on here?
I don't know. It's allow that one. Yes, I'm going to allow. There we go.
There he is.
There he is. The man, the myth, the legend. Come on. You can't tell me with a straight face that is not Randy Macho Man Savage wearing sunglasses and a silly hat, slinging drinks at the Marriott bar. That was him.
My theory was that he's just like a bartending ninja, where he's completely blind and he's just like ripping drinks out just from memory, just by feel.
Yeah, who knows? All I know is that he was there and he was going, "Oh yeah, you want an old fashioned," That's all I could picture as happening that whole time, like a Singapore sling. Oh, we'll get you one over there.
You know what's funny, Mike? That Adam just said that about him. That was Adam, right? That was saying about him being a ninja bartender.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Okay, that's almost what Mike said. Remember, Mike, you were impersonating him, trying to ring up the drinks on the computer.
It's like, well, you old fashioned a margarita.
I remember, Mike, you go, what do you want to drink? Like, just pointed randomly.
I don't remember, man.
It was
I was
fantastic.
drinking too.
It was fantastic.
It was a good time. That was definitely the highlight. Was it's always fun at the Marriott bar and the Hilton bar. Those are the places, if you go to Namm, that's where you have to hang for at least one night, because as Skid Row once said, the freaks come out at 9 and it's 20 to 10. So that pretty much sums it up. I did happen to catch a cool show over at the Hilton though. The Ragdolls, the all-female Aerosmith tribute band, played on Saturday, and they tore it up. They were great. Absolutely fantastic. Kudos to them. So, all right. So there's a lot more funny, but a lot of it's kind of inside, and I really don't want to bore everybody with that. I'm sure they want to know about music though. And so what we want to do now is move on to the main topic. Main topic of the night. Main topic. You have to say that with a hand like this. Main topic. And the topic is the best bands you never heard. So again, like I said earlier, these are bands that you may have actually heard of. Maybe you haven't. Maybe you've heard the name, but you didn't know anything about them. Well, we're going to educate you on them, and hopefully we can all learn about a new band and, grab onto something that we like, that we like, that you could learn about, and then you like it too, and you thank us for it down the road. And we'll give you our addresses at Christmas time to send gifts. So what I'm going to do first is we're going to go around the room. I'm going to start with our special guest host, ADAM PHILLIPS, who's now taking a pull from his douche flute.
The douche. I muted myself, so it's not like.
Yeah, it's still a douche flute.
Yeah. Oh, no. This is graduate. This is the douche flugel.
Oh yeah, the douche flugel, which
flugel with Suckman
included Suckman Gion is part of the douche flugel. Plays the douche flugel. So it's Suckman Gion on douche flugel. But anyway, Adam, we're gonna I think we each picked 3. And we may each have a bonus. So, Adam, what's one of the best bands that we've never heard?
All right. So, for my picks, number 1 and possibly my all-time favorite band, Sleepy Time Gorilla Museum. Sleepy Time Gorilla Museum.
I've heard the name.
This band, they disbanded in, I want to say, 2011 or maybe just before that. They sound like if Danny Elfman invented metal in the 1700s. I don't even know how to start. They're
all right.
5-piece band, guitar player who also sings, a bass player who also sometimes sings, a violinist who sometimes sings and sometimes plays what they call a percussion guitar. They have a drummer who also plays xylophone, and they have a percussionist who plays like bicycle wheels and like steam trays and all this stuff, like this crazy stuff. They make their own instruments. Or really, I should say, Dan, their bass player, makes their own makes many of the instruments. He has something called the Sledgehammer Dulcimer, which is all these 2x4s stuck together. It's about 8 feet long, and it's got bass piano strings on it. And he hits it with a hammer. It's got a sliding pickup, so you can change the phase while you're playing. It's just madness. But it sounds like it honestly, it sounds like Danny Elfman invented metal in the 1700s. It's got like a very like there it is. Okay. Adam's first pick, Sleepy Time Gorilla Museum. So yeah, check that band out. They released 3 full-length albums and also a live album, and every one of them was better than the next. Greatest live band since Frank Zappa.
Wow.
Oh, wow. That's saying a lot.
They were unbelievable. And I had the pleasure of touring with them several times with Indorphine.
Nice. We're going to go around the room. Like I said, Nick, your first pick.
All right. My first one, I'm going to go with Imperial Drag. So for those that aren't familiar, Imperial Drag, we talked about a couple weeks ago, we talked about the band Jellyfish, one of my absolute favorite bands of all time. Made my favorite record of all time, Spilt Milk. 2 of the guys that played on Spilt Milk were in Imperial Drag. Eric Dover, who was also in Slash's Snake Pit, the first version of Slash's Snake Pit. Roger Joseph Manning Jr., Mike, as you mentioned, you have to say his whole name.
Say the whole name.
Was also in Imperial Drag. Bass player named Joseph Carnes, who now plays in Fits and the Tantrums. He was in Imperial Drags, and then a great drummer named Eric Scotus, who's done all kinds of different stuff over the years. Great singer too. But Imperial Drag was kind of like throwback 70s glam rock sort of thing, but some straightforward rock in there too. Just great hooky melodic choruses, as well as like I said, that sort of glammy pop hooks in there. Doesn't sound like Jellyfish. All you get in there from the Jellyfish influences some harmonies and such, but it's really rooted in glam. A lot of T-Rex feel to it. But they only made one record, self-titled record called Imperial Drag. It's great front to back. They did a little bit of touring, and then that was kind of it. They actually were touring with Alanis Morissette when Taylor Hawkins was the drummer. So small world. Everybody's connected in some way. So can't recommend that record enough and that band enough. There's some great stuff on YouTube, but the whole debut album, Imperial Drag, is great front to back.
Nice. Well, for my first pick, I'm going to go for a band that is not necessarily not well known, but a lot of people don't know why they know them, if that makes any sense at all. This is a musician's band. You know, much like Jellyfish influenced tons of other bands, even though they were a confluence of many influences themselves. But Jellyfish, like, influenced so many other bands, but sold like 8 records, you know?
Right.
This band's the same thing, and I'm going with Failure. All right. Now, I love Failure. I'm a huge fan of Failure. Again, the band, not the act of failure, not, you know, I don't like when things go bad. But yeah, I mean, I like Failure a lot. And for me, I came to them a little bit later. I started listening to them in the late 90s, you know, like when Fantastic Planet came out, just like everybody else. And then I realized that in the early 2000s, I wrote a song that sounded as if Failure wrote it. I'm like, oh, okay, I guess it had some influence on me. And then I rediscovered them around 2014 again, when I got to they reformed and started touring again, and got to see them play at the House of Blues and here in San Diego, and they blew my mind. I'm like, these guys have zero stage presence, but who cares? You know, sonically, this is one of those bands that you want Ken Andrews, who's more or less the brainchild of Failure, to do the mix for your album. You know, you want him to record your album because he has one of the greatest pairs of ears out there. Him and Steven Wilson are like the two, in my mind, the two best pairs of ears that are out there right now. And, but Failure continues to tour and continues to make music. They're back. They're making more albums. They're actively touring right now. In fact, they played the Thursday, the day before Namm. They played in San Diego and I couldn't go. And then the next day on Friday, they played at Pappy and Harriet's out in Joshua Tree, and I couldn't go. So because we were working now, but otherwise I probably would have gone to both shows. But yeah, I mean, if you're into, like, you know, whether you're into shoegaze or space rock, they kind of do that. And if you're into just like good, like almost stoner rock, they do that. You know, like it sort of fits many different genres. And if I had any one album to pick, of course, Fantastic Planet is the one to get. Good luck finding it on vinyl.
Yeah, right.
That's another $800 album on vinyl at this point.
Oof.
It's a ridiculous market. But anyway, Failure is my first pick. Adam, you are up.
Next pick for me is going to be a band which is a combination of two bands you guys need to know about. The band that they combined into is called Piniole. These are two French bands. One is called Poil, and the other is called Ni, N-I. And they combined to call themselves Piniole, which apparently also is French slang for rubbing one out. And it's kind of a combination of the words Poil and Ni. So they were like, this band is insane. They are, so actually Piniole is Piniol, I think. Yeah. No E at the end, but whatever.
All right. So drop and leave off the E for savings.
Drop the
Got
E,
it.
yeah.
Let me do that again. Oops.
No biggie. Anyway, this band is just incredible. They are a 6-piece band, I think. So they have 2 drummers, 2 bass players. Oh, no, they're 7-piece. 2 drummers, 2 bass players, 2 guitar players, and a keyboardist. And it's mostly instrumental. The 2 drummers work hand in hand and play off of each other. So instead of just playing the same beat. If there's a spot, for example, that one drummer's going boom, boom, ba boom, 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 ba boom. The other drummer's going boom, boom, ba, boom, boom, ba. So now it turns into boom, boom, ba ba, boom, ba ba. But they're hard panned. So if you're listening in headphones, it's just doing this the whole time. The two guitar players work together, the two bass players work together. It's never muddy, and it's some of the most incredible musicianship I've ever heard in my life. Another musician's band. Like if you're a musician, you're going to listen to this band and your mind's going to just go places. Or if you're taking illicit drugs, which you probably shouldn't do, you're still going to go places. They're just amazing. They only released one album, and it's unbelievable. They played a few festivals together as that band, but bands individually, Poil and Knee, are also bands that you guys should know about. I somehow got into these weird French bands, and it just became a thing, and I've discovered that there are a lot of really awesome, weird-ass French bands, and I like them.
Gojira.
Gojira is a French band. They're one of the better French bands.
There you go. So, Pignol, choice number 2.
Yeah.
Nick, who's your second pick?
My second pick is a band from the early 70s called Captain Beyond.
Dude, I love Captain Beyond.
There we go.
That is an awesome band.
I thought you might be into that just from the other stuff you were describing. So Captain Beyond, for those that have never heard the name, they were kind of a super group back in the early 70s. So it has Rod Evans, the original singer from Deep Purple, two of the guys from Iron Butterfly, and the drummer is a great, super underrated drummer named Bobby Caldwell, who played drums with Johnny Winter, and I think he played on a couple Rick Derringer albums. He's kind of like a session guy back in the day. Absolutely phenomenal drummer. Not that the other guys are bad, but the drumming on that record is out of this world, especially for the time period. But it's got a prog thing happening to it. A little bit of like what's now considered stoner rock, heavy, dirty riffs. But a lot of groove, a lot of, like I said, kind of weird time signature stuff. The whole album sort of flows track from track into each other. So it's got this vibe through the whole thing, and it's kind of like spacey, and I don't know, it's really hard to describe, but it's balls out rock. There's the opening track, Dancing Madly Backwards on a Sea of Air, is fantastic, and then the jam of the whole album is Raging River of Fear, which Paul McCartney just mentioned. They made 2 other records, but the lineup was not the same as the first one. So the second one, I think, has a different drummer and a different bass player. And then the third one's got a different singer. So still good, but not as good as the first self-titled record, just called Captain Beyond. Kind of a rare record. They repress it every now and again. The original press has a 3D cover on it, like one of the, like a lenticular. It's got a lenticular of the Captain Beyond mascot, but can't say enough about that record. Somebody turned me onto it like 15, 20 years ago at this point. It's phenomenal. It's not crazy rare. Like Mike was just saying about that Failure record. You don't got to pay $800 for it. It's probably like a $60 to $75 record. But if you see it, get it. I promise you will be floored. It was released on Capricorn back in the day too. Same label as the Allman Brothers and Brothers. all that good stuff. So solid as hell. Adam, I'm glad you know it.
Great.
That's a great band, dude.
So my second pick, I went with something that I guess maybe has a little bit of a personal tinge to me, because I actually was helping manage this band at one time. When I started working in the music industry way back in the day, and that's a band called Drill. Now, Drill, there were multiple bands with the name. This is one that actually was signed. And Drill was a 4-piece band, really rock-oriented, female singer. Lucia Cifarelli was the singer of the band, and she's now in KMFDM. Oh, okay. So actually, I believe she married Sasha. But she's part of KMFDM now. But not only was she the singer, but JD, who is now the bass player for Black Label Society, was the bass player of Drill. So just really good band, great pop sensibility. Like could be really heavy at times too, like really just aggro. Not heavy metal, just super heavy rock. It was never like chuggy, you know. But also like they started recording a second album, and unfortunately I don't think that ever got released. I actually still have the DAT of that album that unfortunately never got released, and I wish that had, because it would have been really commercial and it would have done very well. It was almost like No Doubt on steroids, you know.
All right.
No Doubt without the ska. It was just really just pop, and
without the tight snare drum.
Yeah, exactly. It wasn't like popcorn snares going on the recording. But anyway, you can find the album on Apple Music. You can find their debut album on Apple Music, and the song that I would definitely recommend is a song called "Go to Hell," and they actually made a video for it, so you can find that on YouTube as well. So that would be my second pick, the band Drill. Adam,
all right,
piece de résistance.
Very French. My last pick is going to be a band also from the 70s called Gentle Giant.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, yeah, Nick knows who that is. So this band, I would say, was probably the biggest influence on my first pick, Sleepy Time Gorilla Museum. I discovered this band because of Gary from Propane. When I was in Propane and touring with them, he was like, "You ever check out this band, Gentle Giant?" I was like, "No." He goes, "You have to." So I checked them out, and it was one of the most incredible things I've ever seen. There's some footage on YouTube. There's a bunch of full live shows. Two brothers in the band. I think they're a 5-piece, and they everybody in the band plays multiple instruments, and they all switch off. So sometimes there's like two brothers playing cello and violin, and then one guy is playing a xylophone, and then like all of a sudden there's a song where everyone's playing flutes. And like, it's just unbelievable, man. Like I've never really seen anything like it. It's like I said, I think it was really, they were the predecessor to Sleepy Time Gorilla Museum. And I never realized it because Sleepy Time was my favorite band. And then I suddenly discovered this band that I'm like, holy crap, this is where they got all this from. Okay, this is the root of it. And it's just mind boggling, dude. That's another musician's band where like, you're going to be floored. I think there's either 2 or 3 brothers in the band. One of the brothers went on to work for a record label that signed Dream Theater.
I'm going to interject here.
Yeah.
That would be probably the lowest of his signings. Derek Shulman signed Bon Jovi.
That's
Shulman
true.
Signed Pantera.
Yeah.
I forgot
about that. I forgot
Cinderella. Enough's enough.
Like, well, we don't have to. Let's not hold that against him.
I didn't realize he signed all of those bands. I knew
he
signed Pantera. I knew he signed Dream Theater, and
yeah.
Mike, another thing, Gentle Giant is one of those bands where Steve Wilson remixed their entire catalog. Every one of their records he redid. Similar to what he's doing with Jethro Tull, going through their whole catalog.
They sound great too.
Yes, yeah.
It's not a surprise. I mean, you know, the whole multi-instrumentalist thing, you know, Steven Wilson is just great at, whether it be Jethro Tull, Gentle Giant, Chicago. Yes. Like he just knows how to give separation to all those instruments when he does a remix. It's absolutely amazing. But any final words on Gentle Giant?
Go listen to them immediately. If you
had to pick one album for somebody to listen to, which one would you pick?
Oh, good Lord. I don't know. I think Octopus is a really good album.
What's the one it's like shaped like the guy's head?
Oh, damn it.
That's the freaky looking one.
Yeah. I know exactly which one you're talking about, and I can't read. We'll have to pull that up.
Where's Paul McCartney? He'll know the name of it. He loves Gentle Giant.
What album was that?
Acquiring the Taste? Is that it? No, that's The Tongue.
Gentle Giant Live is also solid.
Gentle Giant. The one is Gentle Giant.
It's self-titled,
like
right?
Self-titled one. The dude with the looks, with the big beard and everything.
Yes, that's the self-titled record.
Yep.
I think so. Yeah. It's got Funny Ways on it, and that's one of the best. So that's the song where like suddenly someone's on cello and someone's on violin, and you're like, what's going on? And the vibe solo in that song is just, again, mind-blowing.
Nick, what's your third pick?
So my third pick is it's a Detroit band. Huge influence on me and widely regarded as one of the most legendary bands around here. And that is the band Seduce. So don't let the looks fool you. I mean, this came out in 86, so they definitely look the time period. But this is a power trio to end all power trios. Fantastic songs. They still play gigs once every couple of years. They'll do a reunion gig. It's still an absolute freight train that you get live. There's 3 live tracks included on the CD reissue of this is their first album, just called Seduce. They had 2 others, or 1 other. This record, again, front to back, just killer. I mean, the guitar playing, the drumming. Chuck Burns, the drummer on this, is one of my biggest influences. Just rock solid. He ended up being in another band, fronting another band that had some notoriety in the 90s called Speedball. They toured with Motorhead and Dio. Chuck was the front person in that band. But these 3 guys, man, this record and their second one, Too Much Ain't Enough. They were also featured in Metal Years Part 2, Decline of the Western Civilization. They're in that. But Seduce, man, I just can't say enough about this record. It's metal, it's hard rock, it's got groove, it's got everything. Plus this logo still is one of my favorite logos of all time. And as you can see, we have it marked as a Rock City Music Company essential, because I feel it is essential to every collection. So if you haven't heard this record, look it up on YouTube. The whole thing's on there. It's even on Spotify. It's on Apple Music. They recently did a reissue of it and got it on all those digital platforms. But seriously, I can't say enough. Dave Black, the guitar player, Chuck Burns on drums, and then Mark Andrews, bass and vocals. This is one of the best hidden gem records you'll ever hear. I promise you, I'll lay whatever you want on the line. I'll bet whatever on this one. Buy it.
Okay. I will bet you Kiss the Originals.
Okay, I'll take that bet because there's no way you won't like that record.
Okay. I like the title. It looks like a guitar I used to own. Very pointy.
You start making guitar shapes out of band logos.
Yeah, really. Or like those band logos that it just looks like you need to pronounce it because, I mean, that's what it looks like it's written, or it just looks like
all
knives going up and
you
down.
You can read that, though. You can easily see
I didn't say you couldn't
Seduce.
read that. Aren't they from Italy? Isn't that Seduce?
Yeah.
Father Guido Seduce.
Yeah, Father Guido Seduce. Exactly. Saturday Night Live, Detroit edition, Seduce. No, that's look, I haven't heard them, but guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to listen to them because Nick recommended it. I'm going to listen to Sleepy Time Gorilla Museum. Why?
Yeah,
Because
I want
he
to hear that.
recommended it. Like
Yes.
I've never I've heard of them, but I've never listened to them. Gentle Giant I've heard, and they're great. You know. All right. So for my third pick, I have to actually start typing it. Mike's third pick, because if I don't have my own Chiron, there's nothing. I can't. It sucks. There we go. All right.
The suspense is killing me.
It should, amongst other things. But, oh, shut up.
Rob.
Roger's just like, do it. Roger's just like, say it. Say it. Here's my third pick.
Yes.
12-foot ninja. 12-foot ninja. 12-foot ninja is an awesome band out of Australia. That essentially, if I had to classify them or describe them to anybody, I would say is if Faith No More was gent. That would probably be the most accurate way to describe them in many ways. I mean, there's, genre shifting in the middle of songs. There's, in that way, it's kind of like Mr. Bungle-esque in a lot of ways too, but with a vocalist with an amazing voice who could sing as well as scream and go one right into the other without skipping a beat. But really chunky, heavy guitar work. Stevic and Rohan, the two guitarists in the band are amazing. Stevic is actually, he's a product specialist for Line 6. Because he could basically write the user's handbook on the Helix, which is an amp modeler for people that don't know what the Helix is. It's an amp modeler. So basically, as opposed to carrying 200 amps with you, you carry one box, and
it does everything.
Gets such great sounds out of it. And he also helped design the one of the guitars that they use, the Shurikens. That's what they're called, Line 6 Shurikens. So it's sort of like a modeling guitar with a modeling amplifier, and they're able to get all these different sounds out of it. So he's got a great mind for product development, as well as for he produces the band too, and for writing, writes a lot of the music. But the whole band is just stupid talented. Unfortunately, a couple of years ago, the bass player left. Okay, well, that happens. In December, the singer left. I just found that out recently, and that really bummed me out because I was hoping to see them in the U.S. I was supposed to see them play in the U.S. in 2016 at the Aftershock Festival up in Northern California, and they wound up having to not do I don't think they did the U.S. tour, so I don't think they ever did that show, which is a bummer because now I'll never see them.
Yeah, right.
At least I don't think so. Though they said they're committed to doing the European tour in 2023, but the singer's not going to do it, so they need to get another singer. Who knows how that'll go. But if I had to recommend any album, it's this one, Outlier. This album is great. This one came out in 2016, and it features a killer song called One Hand Killing, which happens to be the first song on the album. There's a video on YouTube. You can check it out as well. They actually have a great sense of humor about themselves. They just put out another song, another album mid last year called Long I forget the name of the album, but there's the single's called Long Way Home, which has a completely silly video, and they obviously don't take themselves seriously, but they certainly take their music seriously. So that would be my third pick is 12 Foot Ninja.
That's another great pick. Awesome band. And another big influence on my band.
There you go.
Yeah.
So actually your band's been around longer than they have.
I think so. I mean, in combined years, probably. It's like dog
combined
years, you know.
Yeah. But they're awesome. I love those guys. But anyway, so that is a little bit of a wrap up. Anybody have a bonus band? One bonus band. Spit it out real quick. Adam, you first.
Another French band called Sebka Schott. Sebhka, I think. KHA hyphen CHOTT. Sebka Schott. They are like the French Mr. Bungle.
Okay.
If you like Bungle, it's all in French and all extremely weird.
Le poop. Not making fun of the French. I don't know I know how to read it. I can't speak it anymore, but I know how to read it. And I don't think poop is the word for shit in French. So
it's totally not.
Yeah, not at all. Nick, bonus.
The Datsuns out of New Zealand. Fantastic, nice. Straightforward, balls out rock and roll. Same vein as like the Helicopters, Backyard Babies, that style of Scandinavian rock. Little, definitely dirty and just rock and roll. Great band.
Mine is an interesting one, and I have to look up lyrics for one of their songs in order to get my point across for this one. This is not a band that should exist in the Me Too era. Any way, shape, or form. And in fact, anybody that was in this band disavows ever knowing or being in this band. So, wow, it's funny. They're actually attributing the lyrics to Bang Tango, but it's not, which makes it even funnier. But they're the right lyrics. So there was a band that came out I think it was 1990 or 91. And it was a joke. It was a complete joke. Because the band was called Scrap Metal. SKRAPP Metal. Now, the name of the album is called You're So Sensitive. And it has songs called Spunk Sandwich, Pearl Necklace, Slap Little Johnny Behind the Ear, and Swallow That Load.
Amazing.
So just to give you a couple of lines from Swallow That Load, because you need to find this, and I think you can find it on Apple Music. I'm pretty sure it's there. If not, you can find this on YouTube. I know that for a fact. This is poetry right here. Now you're sucking easy, but you know I like it rough. I'm a big man-meat volcano, and I'm ready to erupt. This is poetry.
It truly is, man.
I mean, come on. You know, like what song shouldn't start off? Got your favorite daughter in my bedroom tonight. She loves to suck my dick, but doesn't do it quite right.
It's just, it could have been Steel Panther lyrics.
Right.
I don't think Steel Panther would have written anything this bad. Like this is like,
hey, Mike, can I call your attention to the first line of your run of show that says, do what you can to keep the feed clean?
Yeah, that's the feed. We could say what we want. And
okay.
I didn't write those words. Somebody
I've been
else
keeping
did.
this clean for no reason.
I was just reading words. That's all I was doing was reading the words. And it's about an hour or so into the show, and they don't care as much at that point. So it's more for, getting this monetized eventually, which will never happen because we have like 8 subscribers. By the way, if you like the show, please subscribe and click.
We have more than 8 subscribers.
We have 28 subscribers.
Well, when we started,
more than 8.
Right? Yeah, exactly. That's
started with
almost
none.
3 times as many.
We started with none. Yeah. So anyway, that is my bonus pick, Scrap Metal, and they only had 1 album. And the singer, just to let you know, was Jeff Scott Soto, and he will never, ever admit it, ever.
Wow.
In interviews, he's like, "Who? What are you talking about? I know not of what you speak." Like, yeah, all right, buddy. But especially nowadays, now I would.
You know who else is like that is and I don't know the guy's name, but the singer that was in Fastway, he's the singer in Flogging Molly now.
Right.
Yeah, he'll never admit that he's the guy from Fastway, but it is him.
It's almost like Judas Priest and Ripper.
Well, that's Judas Priest not admitting that Ripper was in the band.
Yeah, that's
a difference.
That's why Jugulator and whatever Demolition are like $1,000 each on LP because they're like, no, let's just not.
I can't believe those actually were released on LP. That's kind of surprising.
In Europe.
Yeah, but still, I mean, Demolition specifically, that was like 2001, wasn't it?
Right. That was before the vinyl craze. I mean,
yeah. Well, but Jugulator was late 90s, which was even less so.
Yeah, that's true.
But it's just at the same time, you got to think technology takes a little bit longer to catch up in some of those European countries than it does over here. So if it was Japan, they wouldn't have made an LP after like 1950. It was all CDs or something like that.
Yeah, right.
Already. I kid. It was a little bit later, but still, like, that's what happens. That's why you get all these albums as European imports here, because that's where they were made.
Yep.
They didn't make them in the US. They're very small quantities. So anyway, so moving on, it's time for the last 2 segments of our show. I know it's sad. It's sad. We're only 2 segments away from ending. It's gone fast.
It has.
But these last 2 segments take at least 10 minutes each anyway, so it doesn't matter. Still got some time. And the first one is the reason why this show is called Cover to Covered, and it's a segment called Discovered. We discuss a cover. Compound words. And that cover has to be as good, if not better, in your mind, your opinion, than the original. So we each pick a song. We don't discuss this beforehand because we always want to be a little bit surprised. So, Adam, you're going to go first again. Which cover song did you pick that is as good, if not better, than the original?
For my pick, I decided to go with Bread Fan by the band Budgie, which was covered by Metallica. Way better than the Budgie version.
I
like
agree.
1,000 times better.
Oh, yeah.
You mean you don't like that nasally Budgie voice?
Not only it's great for Rush, but we're not talking about Rush here. We're talking about Budgie, and it was like it's very dainty and like dinky. And Metallica said, "What if we put this song in E and make it sound like us?" And they did, and they did a great job. The recorded version is really good. It's on the import of Injustice for All. It was from that same time period, and the live version is even better because they skipped the slow part, and it's like the meandering solo. The solo's okay. The ripping solo is where it's at. But I think that song, honestly, most of the Metallica covers are way better than the originals. Stone Cold Crazy, So What, all the stuff on Garage Days, all of that stuff I think was just far better than the originals. Metallica is really good at being a cover band.
That's my favorite Metallica is cover band Metallica.
Yeah. They're great. They're really good at it. But for that song, I picked Budgie because Bread Fan, because I think that was the one that they did with the most balls.
I got it. I love their version of So What.
It's great. It's so much fun.
Yeah, because it's just like so angry.
Let's talk about a bad Metallica cover though in Whiskey in the Jar.
Terrible.
All right, so
terrible.
Anything that was on Garage Days revisited. Yeah, most of that stuff, like, you know, Sabracadabra, they killed it, like, and not in a good way.
Yeah,
they destroyed it. The Whiskey in a Jar thing, Turn the Page.
Turn the Page was awful too. I forgot about that.
That was like the best of all of them.
To the restaurant.
Turn the page.
Yeah. You know what was cool on that though was that Merciful Fate medley. That was cool.
That was okay.
I don't even remember that. That's because I can't get past Turn the Page.
Yeah, it's right after Turn the Page, I think.
Exactly.
But yeah,
listen to Turn the Page.
That's awful. And yeah, like I said, the Whiskey in the Jar cover is just absolutely
really
god
bad.
fucking awful.
Not so good. Let Phil live like in the past. Don't try to do that. But yeah, I agree with that. That's a great cover. Good call. Nick, what you got?
My cover for this week is Woodstock by CSNY, Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young, doing the Joni Mitchell song Woodstock. Most people don't know it is a Joni Mitchell song, but it is written, of course, about Woodstock. But I watched part of Woodstock on the plane coming home, and that intro of the movie with that shows everybody showing up and them trying to put the stage together and everything, and that song plays. I just think it captures everything that festival was about. And if you know the history on it, Joni Mitchell wrote it in like 40 minutes, and it's lyrically it's a great song. But I think the definitive version is the CSNY version. Great guitar playing from Stephen Stills and of course Neil Young. But yeah, love it.
All right, this is very confusing to me. I don't know what this means.
Nick, our fucking 75-year-olds.
Why?
I think he's trying to say. I think he's trying to ask, "Am I 75 years old?" I think is what he's attempting to say.
Yeah, I think he left the "you" out of Nick.
I think we're gonna put Jeff in a timeout. I think I can do that. Let's see if I can. Yes, I can put user in timeout. I won't do it. I'll just let him be.
You're out of here.
Jeff almost developed COVID. That's why he didn't make it to Namm. So he was going to come to Namm. So anyway, and no, he's not 75 years old, Jeff. Stop asking.
Is he the guy that like he was trying to say Virtual 11 was a perfect album?
No.
Okay.
No. I don't know
which guy was that?
Except that was John Byrne. There's one person that would say that.
All right.
Album.
All right.
So so quick sidetrack. We should start a band called Crosby, Stills, and Thrash.
Yes! Yes! Crosby, Stills, and Thrash. That goes along with my Slayer cover band that plays everything in half speed. Call it Slower.
Slower. That was my favorite one from dinner the other night. Slower.
Or the Slayer cover band done in the style of Rush. It's called Slush. Any of those.
Blood Red Barchetta.
Yeah, Blood Red Barchetta. There you go. Anyway, Clockwork Angels of Death. So you can just go all day with that. But I like Crosby, Stills, and Thrash. That's great.
That's really good.
God, that's so good. All right. Is it my turn? Is it?
It is your turn.
Is. Okay. So for my cover, I went with an instrumental this time. I picked Frankenstein by the Edgar Winter Group, and I went with Overkill's version.
Yep.
Of Frankenstein.
I've never heard that.
It's so good.
It absolutely
so
slays. It's so. Would I say it's better? No, but it's as good.
Okay.
And it's really good. It's of course very fast.
Yep.
Way faster. But they do like all the crazy keyboard stuff on like guitar with tapping and stuff, and it's really just a quality version of that track. I think it's under Under the Influence that it's on. I forget which album it's on. It's on one of those, like 91. Right when they first had two guitarists. Because they had Bobby Gustafson.
Yeah, that was Bobby Gustafson's first record with them, wasn't it?
Which one?
The one with Frankenstein.
No, that was Bobby Gustafson got thrown out.
Oh, he was already out. He was already axed by then.
He was already out. That's the first album. Whichever album that's on is the one with two guitar players, and that's the one that Frankenstein.
How about Jeff saying overkill without vocals may be listenable?
And I agree. That's why,
I love Bobby Blitz.
Hey, elimination!
Dude, he almost talks like that in real life too.
I know. I've hung out with him. Hey,
it's not like I was gonna have to do it. Ha ha ha!
Yeah, that's him, dude. He's talking about his kid being bigger than him. He's like,
Us to kick his ass. He doesn't even know. He doesn't know what moves I got.
He's 4 years old.
Shut up!
There we go. It's another Roger shut upness. All right. So those are the 3 covers that we have now. Now is where the fire starts as we close out the show, because usually Nick is wrong with his choice on This Song Sucks.
You agreed with me last week.
That one time.
The time before that, you agreed with me too. It was the first 3 that you didn't agree with me on.
Yeah, 3 in a row. It's pretty good. It's a good streak. Anyway, This Song Sucks is the band is good, the song sucks. It's just, there's no other way to put it. Like, good bands make shitty songs, and this is one of them. And Adam, we are going to give you the privilege, as our special guest, of telling us.
I was torn for this one. I was torn. Initially, I picked Martyr by Fear Factory because I think they had they were a great band for a lot of years. They were a really bad band for a lot of years. But I think out of all the music they wrote, that was not their best. I think it was just kind of a corny song. But I decided against that because it could still be considered a decent song. It's not terrible. I wouldn't say it's a terrible song.
Remember, I said this is a good band.
Right.
Doing a shitty song.
All right. So what I ended up picking... See, I don't know. That's subjective. I think they had 2 great albums, and then they went...
It is, but the point of this part of the show is just getting ripped on.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. All right. So you really want to rip on somebody? Let's rip on the Red Hot Chili Peppers for putting out great albums and then putting out Can't Stop, Addicted to the Shindig.
Yeah, it's awful.
That is a terrible song, but how much talent
it's called
is
Can't
in that
Stop.
Oh, Can't Stop. Like, how much talent is in that band? Like, you've got Flea and Chad Smith, and that's what you wrote? Look, seriously, man. Like,
here's the thing for me. There's for Chili Peppers, I don't there's not much I like. I get what you're saying exactly about the talent thing, because Chad Smith and Flea are incredible.
That's the rhythm section.
Yes, yeah, but rarely is there a Chili Peppers song where I hear it and go, oh yeah, I love this. But you're right, Adam. Specifically, Can't Stop is very terrible. And when people say they ask me why I don't like the Chili Peppers, that's usually my go-to example of why I don't like the Chili
If you go back and you listen to like Mother's Milk and Freaky Styley and Uplift Mofo Party Plan, you've got some decent stuff. It was almost on the edge of being punk, and then you just suddenly shit the bed and go into
soccer mom music,
so bad.
as Jeff said.
I can't believe you don't know that song, Mike.
I'm not a Chili Peppers fan.
You be thankful your ears never had to ingest
I like
that garbage.
Early Chili Peppers when they did Fire, and
that's a great record, dude.
Ground.
That's all on Mother's Milk, and I think that was their pinnacle. And even honestly, Blood Sugar Sex Magic was a masterpiece record in a lot of different ways. That was Rick Rubin's best work, if you ask me. And just it was organic and had a lot of funk and just like groove, and it laid down the funk,
Speaking of the funk, Jeff saying skinny sweaty man. I guess he's talking about Anthony Kiedis.
Who now looks like Uncle Rico from
right here. Anthony, if you're watching, come on the show and you can rip Jeff a new one. All right, so that was first. Red Hot Chili Peppers, Can't Stop. All right,
very bad.
Nick, what is your submission for This Song Sucks?
All right, so I went with a band that a lot of people love, including myself.
That's the point.
Yeah. And Mike, you sort of mentioned this earlier. I'm picking Ragdoll by Aerosmith. What a terrible fucking song. And if you like, there's a lot of things to say why it's not good, but the number one thing has to be slow gin fizzy in the lyrics.
Just do it till you're dizzy.
Right.
Give it all you got. And,
Terrible. What is going on with the melody in that song? The drum sound is awful. Everything about that song is awful. I fucking hate that song. And if somebody played that to me, you know how you always say, like, somebody will say, what if you came from another planet? And somebody said, like, oh, check this out. This is Aerosmith. And somebody played me that, I'd fucking go back to my other planet.
So, Nick, would you please tell us how you feel about the song Ragdoll? Man, that's vicious.
It's bad. It's vicious because it's fucking, that song is vicious.
I don't know if the song is vicious.
Vicious in a bad way.
Okay.
It's not vicious like Sid Vicious.
No.
It's vicious like...
It should be on drugs, though.
Fuck, I can't put Jeff's comment up. We got to save this moment here.
Jeff actually agreed with Nick. Oh, my God.
I don't think, no, seriously, I don't think, do either of you guys like that song? Because I don't think I've ever met anybody that goes, you know, it's a good Aerosmith tune is Ragdoll.
No, and that's not even a band I'm really crazy about. I would have to say most of the time I'm not an Aerosmith fan. Like, it's a little meandering for me. Like, you know, like my girl always says, all she hears when she hears that one that when the train came rolling is Jay Cameroni. Jay Cameroni all night long. Jay Cameroni all night long.
I was between Ragdoll and Lovin' an Elevator, but ultimately I decided that Ragdoll is way worse.
You can't do that to Lovin' an Elevator. That Lovin' an Elevator is a good song.
Is it though?
It is.
Not really.
Ragdoll. It's better than Ragdoll.
Yeah, I think it is. I think that's why I came around to picking Ragdoll. There's a really bad I hate in Lovin' an Elevator though, where he says kiss your sassafras. He's really not good with his lyrics, Steven Tyler.
All right. He's like Tallahassee. What rhymes with Tallahassee?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Nothing. Sassafrasy. All right, there we go. We got it.
Have any of you guys ever listened to the song Last Child? Like that's
great.
Is, you know, as far as like lyrics and rhyming though, like, you know, there's a lot, you know. Anyway,
Aerosmith's never great because of the lyrics.
You know, Aerosmith used to tour with Kiss. And it was amazing because,
you know, we discovered Kiss.
We discovered Aerosmith after they discovered us. And it's unbelievable that Steven Tyler doesn't give me all of his money.
He owes me lots.
Go to kiss.com. Kiss Online is the actual address, but we want you to go to kiss.com.
Because I own that too.
Because we own all the domain names. Actually, he does. At one point, he had a company that's what they did was bought domain names.
I'm not surprised.
Like
he's
people
smart.
that would type them wrong, and he would just buy them.
Yeah, he's smart.
Anyway, my submission on this song sucks. There's a band I love. I mean, I love this band, and I love this album, except one song, which just is. It's the ragdoll of this band. So it's Faith No More and King for a Day, Fool for a Lifetime. It's killer album. But there's a song on here called Star AD, which is like a Lawrence Welk type tune, like, or Tom Jones-ish kind of thing, where it's just very annoying and I can't listen to it ever. Because like all he's going is, oh, it is it's all it's all, and then he goes up an octave. Like, I love Patton. He's got an amazing voice. this is like pandering to people. Like it's just nonsensical. Is it like offensive? Say offensive as say ragdoll? No, but it's but it's
just not
it's
good.
easy to skip that song on the album or the CD or whatever it is. No, Gall McCartney, not Tom Jones ish as in great. No, Tom Jones is great. This is not. This song sucks. Why it's called This Song Sucks. Tithead.
And it's in an album with a collection of other really good songs.
Amazing songs.
How do you the song Get Out is like just God
Get
tier.
Out, Ricochet, even
Yep.
Cuckoo for Caca. All right.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. Gentle Art of Making Enemies, Evidence.
That's a great song.
Like,
Yeah.
they're all great songs. And then there's
I can't wait to check this tune out.
Why?
Just listen to the rest of the album.
I just want to hear how accurate your interpretation of it is.
Adam, is
He's
it close?
spot on. He's spot on.
Okay,
He's
all right.
absolutely spot on.
Like, I don't even know the words because I have to skip it all the time. I was like, a little something, some the woo. It's all the womb. I don't know, but almost every other song on this album is amazeballs, and that song is just like, of course, it's right in the middle.
Yeah.
So like, you get some good before it, but there's a lot of good after it. That if you listen to this song and you just stop listening, you're missing.
Faith No More is a band I don't know a ton about, so I want to check that record out.
I love Faith No More, and there's it's not all killer, but Angel Dust is a classic. That album's amazing, start to
great
finish.
record, dude. Epic's an awesome album. I'm not Epic. I'm sorry. No,
Real Thing.
The Real Thing, yes.
Real Thing. Yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah.
I was waiting for him to get the title right, but
I was like,
yes,
it's on the
Real
tip of
Thing.
my
Epic
tongue.
is a cool
Where
song.
is it? Yeah. No, Real
And
Thing's
even
good.
Introduce Yourself's cool, even with Chuck Mosley. I mean, there's some things on there that are pretty cool. Live at Brixton Academy is actually one of the better live albums that's ever been
I have
done.
not heard that yet.
It's great. It's amazing. And their live cover of War Pigs on that is outstanding because at one point Mike Patton forgets the lyrics and he just starts screaming. Like right at the end, he's like, on their knees. He just gets right back into it. It's so good. But you can just tell he's like searching for it. Was like, nope, don't got it. Going vocalizing. That's it. Cool. All right. So those are everything for let me start that over again. Start the sentence. Those are all of our segments for this week.
What's happening, baby?
Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Next week we're gonna do a record store day preview.
Yeah.
Record Store Day 2 preview.
Electric Boogaloo.
Yes. Record Store Day 2 Electric Boogaloo. I may actually name the podcast.
Got it.
Oh, you know what? All right. So there's this. All right. Now, before we go, we have to address this. Jeff, this is Gene Simmons. It's really impossible for me to think that you couldn't tell that his impression of Gene Simmons was amazing when you know well and good it's an impression of Ace Frehley.
Hey, you got to have Ducky do Ace Frehley.
Oh no! Did I ever tell you? We'll close out the show with this, but I have an Ace Frehley story. So I realized why Kiss never wanted him in the band anymore. So I was just gotten the job at Taylor right here, which I never say, but oops. And I was traveling to Chicago to go visit some stores, and I got upgraded to first class, which was pretty awesome because I was flying a lot at that point. And I'm sitting in 2D, which is the aisle seat in first class. And everybody gets on the plane, and this guy with long hair gets on last and sits in 1A. And plane hasn't left yet, so he's still on the phone. And the woman next to me, the well-dressed business person next to it, I know exactly who it is. Well-dressed person next to me goes, "Oh, well, who is that?" I'm like, "Oh, that's Ace Frehley from Kiss." "Oh, I thought so." Oh, first of all, no, you didn't.
Yeah, right.
All right, there's no way you thought so. All right, just not. You didn't think
no
so.
way
so
you
shut
thought
up.
so.
Then all I hear, like with the phone, he's on the phone and he's talking to somebody who's going to pick him up. And all I hear is this. Hello? Yeah. Are you going to be there? I don't want to wait. Don't make me wait. You swear you're going to be there? Because I don't want to wait long. I'm going to be tired. Yeah, no, I just want to go to sleep. Yeah, but just, all right, just don't make me wait. I don't want to wait anymore. Sir, you have to get a phone. Okay, 1 second. Yeah, but listen, just call up Jamie. Call Jamie, whatever the name he was saying. Call Jamie. No, are you going to make me wait? Don't be late. Okay, goodbye. Like, this is why Kiss kicked him out of the band. Had nothing to do with drugs or alcohol. Had nothing to do with being late to things. It was this.
Hearing that every day.
Now, Ace, I know you're watching. So
Yeah.
if you want to come on the show and you want to discuss this, I'm sorry. If you want to discuss this.
Ace has COVID right now.
Does he?
Yes.
Would you make out with him or something? How do you know this?
Oh, because they posted about it on Facebook. You don't have to make out with anybody.
Yeah. That's, what he didn't do since he left Kiss.
He didn't get his Kiss COVID with a K booster shot.
Yes, Kiss COVID vaccine with 2 Ks. Vaccine. It's from the Yiddish. We say vaccine.
Real quick, Mike. Did you see the video that came out yesterday of them just their taped backup vocals going off because Eric Singer didn't hit the break in Detroit Rock City properly?
No.
Yeah, they were playing like in I think Germany or something. So it gets to the where it stops. Get up, right in Detroit Rock City. I don't know if he couldn't hear because obviously Eric Singer's a capable player. So he was playing and he played a measure through the stop. So they stop. He plays a measure through, and then he goes to go into the fill. The fucking pyro goes off and everything. They're nowhere near the mic, and you just hear, "Get up! Everybody's got to move their feet. Get down."
That's fantastic. Oh my god. Well, then we're gonna have to find that. Is that on YouTube?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it was everywhere. Blabbermouth had an article about it.
Oh my god, we're gonna have to do that. Well,
it's so perfect because Paul's pointing at the other guys trying to get him on track, and you just hear him singing everybody's gonna leave their seat.
Would you get back in your seat? Oh my god, that's amazing. But it serves him right. It serves him right.
Do not use tracks.
I was watching some of the videos from earlier in the tour. I'm like, nope.
And then when you see him, not on this tour so much, but on the last tour, Paul was doing a speech in the middle where he's like, this is the real Kiss. We don't use no backing tracks or computer music. This is the real thing. And then they're just clearly using tracks, which is so Kiss, right?
Computer music.
Yeah, right. Computer music.
It's in the future.
Yeah, right.
It's computer music.
Real quick, the best thing I ever heard him say where I witnessed it, it was in Detroit in 2019. He goes, "Now, Detroit, listen, we've been having some hot weather and we've been having some cold weather, which means it's flu season." And I'm like, did he just seriously say it was flu season? And then he's like, "So if you get sick, there's only one person you're going to be able to call. Dr. Love."
He really went around the side door for that one, didn't he? He's out of shit to say. He's like, just pull the car over here. All right, I'm going to jump out and say this real quick.
You could tell Gene was like, did he really just say it was flu season?
What I said to Paul, why would you do that? We make less money when you ramble.
Yeah.
It's not necessary. Don't use backing tracks. Get your Kiss vaccine. VAKKINE. Vaccine. And the COVID and coronavirus, also with a K. Kiss coronavirus at kiss.com. Kiss condoms, kiss coffins, kiss coronavirus.
And the nurses that give you the vaccine will all be wearing Gene Simmons and Paul Stanley makeup.
Actually, they'll be wearing our underwear as we make kiss underwear for naughty nurses. It's very important to have a naughty nurse because after you have COVID with a K, you need sex from somebody, from Dr. Love. And since I am straight, we need a nurse, a naughty nurse, wearing kiss clothing with a K. On that note, Jeff has this to say.
Thanks, Jeff.
Yeah. Kiss.
Thanks for all the
D's
support.
Nuts. Well, D's Nuts was part of the opening today. So, you missed that, Jeff. Watch it on the replay. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are done. All three of you that are watching, but hopefully a lot more of you are listening. We are going to convert this right into an audio podcast, and that should pop up on Apple Music, Apple Podcast, and Spotify in about an hour. Otherwise, if you want to watch this again, you could watch it from the beginning, but I think it takes a little time to archive because you lose the chat for a while too. And of course, you want to see everything that Jeff said in the chat, like D's Nuts, 2D, Kiss D's Nuts, support D's Nuts. So this is obviously poetry. Happy birthday to Lane Henderson, his son, who is pitching for the Corpus Christi Hooks and is far better a person than Jeff will ever be. And I still don't know how he raised a good kid.
Happy birthday to Ducky also.
It's Ducky's birthday?
Yesterday.
Oh, that don't count anymore. The heck with Ducky. Ducky, happy birthday. Got some flan for you.
There you go.
We actually didn't talk about that, but we
we missed it.
We didn't get flan. We didn't get chips.
What's happening, baby?
Chips. Yeah, we're going to have to talk about chips another time. We'll bring it up as like an awesome story. Get off of my Doc Martens right now, dog. Don't do it. Roger is the man. Roger's the dog, but he likes trying to get my attention by like eating shoes. So, all right, everybody, thank you so much. Again, subscribe below, hit like, and all that other fun stuff. And come back next week for Record Store Day 2 preview, Electric Boogaloo. We'll see you soon. Thank you.
Thanks, Adam.
Thank you, Adam, for being here.
Hey,
Jeez, wow, I didn't even give you like a proper thank you. Thank you, Adam, for being here. You're my cousin, and I love you, and you shred.
Love you too, bud.
Well,
And thanks for the free dessert because it was your birthday.
Anytime.
yeah, it was. Somehow. Somebody
we
went up
made
there
it so.
Bye.